In last tutorial, I have showed you how you can exploit certain vulnerabilities after you found some information by using Nmap. We did use VSF TPD service to exploit the target machine. This is kind of a continuation from there. We did find some other information from our Nmap investigation. There was a port number 6667 which was running a service called Unrealirc. In this exploitation, I will be using Metasploit to exploit this particular vulnerability and to get access to that target machine. I will be following the same steps as I did follow on previous exploitation, so you can simply take this as practice for using Metasploit. So let's start. Very first step of using Metasploit is you run this service PostgreSQL, and I'm saying start that particular service PostgreSQL. That's the first step of running Metasploit. Hope you remember that from previous tutorial. So once I run that, I want to check the status whether that service is running. That's running. I'm hitting the Q button for quit so that I could come back to the command prompt again. Now as the PostgreSQL is running, I want to have MSF console. MSF console was the window or console which gave us the opportunity to use exploits from Metasploit to exploit any particular machine. So when you start running MSF console, it will take a while to run the Metasploit framework to organize everything for us. So we'll wait. Well, nothing much we can do now. Okay, seems like our MSF console is ready, and it is ready. How do I know? By looking into MSF console. Now, after you have your MSF console, what you want to do is to search whatever the service was running on that open port. So our service was Unrealirc. That's the particular service I want to try to exploit. But before you exploit, you always will have to search whether there is any exploits available within our Metasploit framework. Now while I'm waiting for that, I just wanted to take your attention to this particular area. We are using Metasploit version 4 12.22, and this particular version here is giving me 1577 exploits, 555 payloads. I haven't showed you the payloads yet, but in after a couple of tutorials I will be showing you the payloads, how to use payloads. Anyways, what this command is doing now, it is searching through these 1577 exploits, and then it is trying to find out something called Unrealirc, and see what it found. It found Unrealirc backdoor. It found a exploit what we can use to attack the target machine. So we know the exploit name, we know the location of that exploit. Now we want to use that exploit. To use that exploit, I'm using the command use, and then I will have to give the full path of that exploit. I don't have to type everything. I will be just typing 1 or 2 characters and everything came. Enter. Now within Metasploit and within this Unreal exploitation. So when you are here, hope you remember from previous lecture, I want to see the options just to make sure I have got everything right. Now here it is telling us what port number this particular service is running. It's supposed to run on 6667, which is the case for us, and we need to have our host IP address, so that will be the target machine. If we don't have the IP address of a target machine, you have the exploit, but where can you execute that exploit? You don't have a place to execute that exploit. So what we'll do now, we'll set an IP address for this our host. To set it up, simple, you just type set our host and IP address of the target machine. So for us 192.168.0.9, that was the IP address of my Metasploitable machine, what I'm using as target machine now, and that machine does have this particular port open with this Unrealirc. So oops, sorry, what did I do? Invalid parameter. Let me see. Oops, sorry, I supposed to set sorry, I typed the wrong one. Set our host. So I'm saying set the IP address as our host. This has been set. Now let's try show options. When I'm saying show options, now I can see our host has been set up to the target machine to the right port number, and we are ready to go. All we will do is to hit the exploit. Oops, why I'm keep typing wrong. Exploit. Now this whole function will start exploiting that target machine, and if it is successful, you will see something like that. Command shell session 1 opened. So we got a shell session 1 open now. What's happening from this particular machine, which is 0.8, we are accessing 0.9, but you just always wants to make sure that which machine you are working on. If you type ipconfig now, sorry, ifconfig, then you will see the IP address of the machine where your cursor is right now, and from here we can be assured that we are on the right machine where we want it to be. Now what we can see in this machine, let's see. If I type pwd, this machine is telling me where am I now. I'm within this /etc/unreal. So what I wanted to do, if I type this, it will take me one step above pwd. So now I'm in etc. If I type ls, let me see what we have, if there is anything interesting. Oh, shadow. We have a file named shadow. Let me show you what shadow file is. If I say cat shadow, what does it mean? That I'm trying to open the shadow file as like text editor. I just want to read it. Now by opening this shadow file, I can see it has just a quick explanation about shadow file. Shadow file contains the information about all the users and hashed value of the password for individual user. So our target machine did have a user MSF admin. If you have installed Metasploitable, you would know this is the default username we have in Metasploitable, and this user does have a password, and hash value of that password is that. So once you know these two pieces of information, you can always try to crack this hash value and to identify what was the actual password. So anything really you want to do, you can do everything with this machine. See, now I have the root access within this target machine, and if you want to delete anything from here, up to you. If you want to delete everything from that machine, you can do that. So what we have done in this tutorial, we used Metasploit again to exploit the vulnerability with Unrealirc. Please bear in mind, we are working on a test environment. We are using Metasploitable as our target machine, which has number of vulnerabilities for reason, so that we or you, whenever you are learning the ethical hacking, you can test. But in real life, all you will have to do is to go through with a number of different services running on a particular machine and try to exploit the vulnerabilities for each of those. Maybe 8 of those will not work, only 2 of those will work, which could be more than enough for you to be successful on your pen testing career. Thank you all. I will see you on next slide.